Hello everybody, my name is Shelly and today I'm doing a dupe video. I have the Natasha Denona Lila palette and the CColor Cosmetics Twilight palette, and I've done a couple other dupe videos so far. I love the idea of saving some money but getting the same look, especially if you weren't going to purchase the main full size. If you have the money and that's what you spend your money on, then by all means I always recommend going with the authentic and not the dupe. However, if you're on a budget or being fiscally responsible regardless, and we can get the same kind of concept, the same look, the same color story, the same maybe even close to formula with a much more economical version, then I'd like to bring that to you. So I started off never buying the authentics. That's how I got into makeup. I just didn't invest that much money into it. There might be other people that are like that. You might be on a budget, you might be counting pennies, but you might also be a lover of makeup. I believe that Layla is one of her $65 palettes, and it is a gorgeous purple themed palette. I love the neutrals, but this is a dark palette. Like in general, this is a much darker color story than I think a lot of people gravitate towards. This is the CColor version, which I believe runs like $11, $10, something like that. Let's put them up together so you can see. Again, I think they run about $11, but you can find codes. If you go over to Hot Mess Mama MD on YouTube, she's got a code. I don't remember if it's Hot Mess or Hot Mess Mama or not, I don't remember. But anyway, she's got a code that you can save even more money on this one. And then Natasha Denona ones, you buy them on a VIB sale, or you buy them from her website when she's got a sale. Don't spend full price on it if you can find them. Sometimes they go in and out of stock. I don't know what to tell you, but a lot of people seem like they have this and they're interested in this. They love the color story, but they were interested in the more budget-friendly version of it. So as you can see, they're not laid out exactly the same. In fact, almost just, I feel like they're kind of flipped. I feel like this row is this row. What I'm gonna do is what I've done in both, which is I've got my little color switch right here. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use the same brush on both eyes. One of them is going to be the high-end Natasha Denona. One of them is going to be the more economical CColor Cosmetics. And let's just see if we can get the same look, because that's kind of what we want to know. So I'm going to do a look here. I'm going to probably take in a bunch of the colors just because I want to get a good sort of representation of them. Let's go in with, and what am I going to do here? I'm going to do the Natasha Denona on my good side. I did that before, but this is my good side. This is my not so good side. You have one too, right? Yeah, I'm going to take this shade right here in the middle. There are names on this little protective sleeve, which I love. I adore that she's got a protective sleeve, and I adore that they've got the names on it. But I don't have my reading glasses on right now, and I'm just going to point. It's the one in the middle. I think because of the black background, that color ends up looking really dark in the pan. But with most Natasha Denona formulas, they do buff out. I'm going to zoom you beautiful ladies in here. A little bit closer. Okay, let me color switch my brush, and we're going into the like shade on the CColor Cosmetics palette. These are smaller pan sizes than the Natasha Denona, which honestly doesn't bother me because I don't pan eyeshadow palettes. I don't know if you've seen the ridiculous collection behind me. That's not all of them. That's not even the ones that are on my vanity where I normally get ready. I'm not going to say that that applied better, but it didn't apply bad. I would never disregard or disrespect Natasha that much. I'm cleaning off my brush and going back into the Natasha Denona side. Aside from the size of the pan and a different layout, one of them is made in PRC, CColor Cosmetics side, and the Natasha Denona one is made in Italy. Italia. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's where they're made. I really want to do something with this fuchsia color, but I love that green too. The green's going to go better with what I'm looking today. So I'm going to take this darker shade down here and use it to kind of darken up my outer corner a little bit. So pretty. You know what? I don't normally do halos, but we're going to take a little bit of this right in here. Might as well do something a little differently. I feel like that doing a halo for me always makes my eyes look a little bit more closer set, and I don't need any help with that. Last time I used this shade, this is the darker one. It's just in a different place on this palette. And is it maybe a little, can't tell, is it a little warmer? If you guys have never tried CColor Cosmetics and you're morally okay with dupes as opposed to the authentics, their formula is really, really good. Like, I barely tapped into this and it blended perfectly. I got no patchiness, and frankly it almost makes the Natasha Denona side look a little patchy. So we're going to come in over here. I hate to say that because I love Natasha. That seemed to bring it up a little bit and get it back and switch my brush again, go back into my CColor side because I forgot that I was doing a halo. Sometimes we forget what we're doing when we walk into a room. Didn't pick up nearly enough. The CColor is very pigmented. I mean, as is the Natasha Denona, but all right, let's try that green. I'm gonna use it, and now it looks green in here, but in person it looks like it almost has a little bit more of a purple shift, so I'm guessing it's like a duochrome. So let's put that kind of all over my movable lid. It's like a freaking triochrome. So it looks green, like a grungy green, and then when I look at it, it looks purple or burgundy. I'm gonna go with a little bit more. That's a very easy color to put on. Okay, we are wiping off the finger. I think that's supposed to be this color, but it doesn't have anywhere near the color shift that the Natasha Denona one has. So there you go. There's a huge difference right there. I'm trying to figure out which one would be the green one if it wasn't that. Maybe it's supposed to be this one? That's too bronzy. So because this is much more of a gold and this is like that triochrome type shift to it, I'm gonna grab, I'm confused because they're not actually laid out the same way at all, but I don't see any of these that give me that same kind of shift. What I should have done is swatch these a little bit beforehand. So I'm gonna take this kind of burgundy shade right here and kind of go over the top and see if I can't match them up a little bit. I think that kind of actually gets me closer. It's not a perfect match. This is a pretty palette, but I'm telling you right now, it is not a good match. I've got a little flat brush right here. I'm gonna take this gold right here, and I'm gonna, boy, it's awfully creamy. I'm gonna tap that right into the center of that lid and kind of spread it out a little bit, just to give that halo light eye a little bit more dimension. I hate covering up that shade that was underneath it though. Man, that was pretty. Okay, and we're gonna take the gold in here, and just gonna see if we can't match these up a little bit. But I suspect we already know the difference. There is a difference. All right, moving on. I'm gonna grab a little pencil brush. I wanna go in with one of these fuchsias here. I'm gonna take the one that's smack dab in the middle. This is still throwing me off. I mean, it literally looks green in the reflection, but in person it's absolutely not. So we're gonna use that to kind of give this eye a little bit more interest. Little rabbit pink eye. We're gonna take the same, I didn't do a fantastic job cleaning up the dregs in my last makeup look here. This one I feel like has traveled quite a bit more into my contacts to go along with that whole rabbit look. And I've had to go back into it several times. Whereas on the Natasha side, I picked up pretty much one swipe, applied it, and it was exactly what I wanted it to be. This one I've had to go in several times to try to build up a similar color story. I'm gonna go in with this, and it's a warmer brown. This one's way more powdery than the other cream. Well, obviously the cream to powder formulas are not gonna be as powdery, but I wanna kind of tone down some of that red. Fuchsia, hot pink, switch in a brush, let's go back into the Twilight palette. These ones are not placed in exactly the right place, so I don't know that I love this as a dupe. I think they're supposed to be dupes for each other. When you look at them on first glance, I moved you guys back out a little bit so we can actually take a look at both palettes together. I think that there are some matches, right? We have this shimmer down here on the CColor side and that one up here on the Natasha Denona. Okay, we've got that one and that one are very close. Those two are very close. Those purples, sure. Let me put these back up here, which means those are supposed to be very close. This one, I don't think looks like that. Maybe more like this. That fuchsia is a lot more pink than the one that's in the CColor one. This gold is not even in the right place. I think this is maybe supposed to be this one over here. We've got these two golds. We've got, these two are supposed to be the matches. These two are supposed to be the matches. but then those two are the matches. So the placement isn't exactly spot on, which makes it challenging. It was way more challenging than I probably needed it to be. I think the end result ended up looking similar-ish. Like, I don't know that people are going to necessarily know that I'm wearing two different palettes on each eye, but I don't know that I love the look the way it created. I should put on mascara, but I don't know that I'm going to leave this on here. I don't think I'm gonna leave it on. Sorry, you guys. I feel like I failed you on this one, but if you wanted to know if the CColor Cosmetics Twilight was a dupe for the Natasha Denona Lila, it's not. Now, that's not to say this is not a good palette. The formulas work really well. Yeah, I had to dip my brush in several times to come back in and get a similar payoff. But the mattes blended out very, very well. This is, for all intents and purposes, this is a decent, solid palette. It's not the Natasha Denona. It's not. So, I hope that answers your guys' question. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Tell me I'm out of my mind. Tell me they're exactly the same and you're wrong. Or tell me, oh no, you know what, the differences are enough that it makes a difference. Either it's not enough to convince you not to try it, or it's enough for you to go, okay, I want the legit, authentic one. I don't want the dupe. It's not a dupe. Inspired by. We'll call it inspired by. All right, you guys. Hope you guys are doing really well, and feel free to stick around for my next video. I tend to upload Wednesdays and Fridays right now, and I need all the subscribers I can get. So love it if you guys subscribe to my channel. I know this was kind of a failed video, but we're not perfect. We're not professional YouTubers, so we're just talking makeup. I'm a lover of makeup. I hope you guys are as well. I hope you guys are doing really well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.